Hey guys, welcome to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be covering the best beginner guns for Battlefield 1. And in this is my opinion. And all these guns will be free guns. So all you're going to need is a copy of Battlefield 1 and a few hours spent in the game. And not all of these are level 1 guns, but they're the easiest to use in my opinion. Again, I've seen a lot of more low level players in the game, so I know a lot of y'all are returning to the game. So it's a good thing to know all these new guns to use. And first up, we have the MP18. It's just a great gun. No matter what level you are, it's still really fun and really effective. It's got a pretty good range, better than most other SMGs, so you can still compete with other weapons. It's got a good reload time, good magazine size, pretty moderate fire rate, so it's competitive at least, but it's not too much that it takes too much skill, like, I don't know, the Annihilator or the MP or the Automatico. So it's really easy to use, got very minimal recoil and very good iron sights, and it puts out a pretty good amount of damage. So even if you're past that one level and you have all the SMGs unlocked, it's still great. And for the medic class, we have the M1907 SL. There's a lot of good variants for this, where you can either use fully auto or semi-auto. I suggest using semi-auto to compete with the random bullet deviation, but it really doesn't matter. It's just a really good gun, like the previous one. High fire rate, good reload, pretty high magazine capacity compared to a lot of the ones you have in the base game. It's got good iron sights, good fire rate, as I've already said, good damage. Damage range could be better, but it really doesn't matter for the type of engagements you're going to use it for. It's just really solid, and it's just really fun to use. I think it's actually my most used weapon in the game. Call me a noob, but that was all from when I started out. It's just very iconic. And what's interesting was it was originally an American sporting rifle for hunting, and was later used by pilots in planes, and also gunners before they introduced LMGs. So that's also another interesting piece of history. Now, I will admit, there might be other gun you want to use, like the Selb Slaughter or the 8.7 extended, but overall, this is probably easier to use than the other two, just because it's a better competitive rushing gun. With that said, most of the guns in that class are pretty well balanced. And next, we have the BAR. Yes, I know what y'all are saying. Why ain't the Lewis on here? Well, and yes, I know this thing does have a good amount of recoil, but once you learn that, it is a good gun. It's very solid, puts out really good damage, and has a good fire rate. Pretty high fire rate actually. And yes, it has low magazine, but the reload is good enough, and if you carry enough ammo, it really isn't that much of a problem. You can use it more like an assault rifle than it is made out to be like in Battlefield 5. They really butchered it in that game. And this, it's got good mobility, and also really controllable recoil once you learn it. Only gotta use it for 15 minutes and you'll have it down. Plus, both variations of the iron sights are pretty good. Honestly, it's just a really good gun for the support class. It's good if you want to level up your support class but don't want to worry about mobility speeds. This is the perfect weapon. That's what kept me from using it for my first few days. I could probably tell this gameplay. It's not amazing, but you can tell even me can do damage with it. And finally, for the Scout class, we have the SMLE. Just a great iconic British weapon. If y'all seen the movie 1917, you're probably going to recognize it. It's just a really good gun. With a 10-round magazine, it already outdoes every other rifle. And you'd think it would have low damage and low range. No, absolutely not. It's still got very competitive damage, competitive range. Yes, iron sights could be better, but they're manageable. Even a terrible sniper like me can do work with it. Now, that's up to y'all to decide, but that's beside the point. Plus, like I said, it's just very iconic, so you really feel immersive when you're playing in a trench warfare map like the Somme or Passchendaele, and you're running around with this gun as if you're in the movie 1917. Great movie, by the way, but that's beside the point. This is just a great weapon, and it's really great how you don't have to worry about you just really would expect more nerfs for a gun so great, but it's just such a solid, well-rounded weapon, and I think it's the second bolt action rifle you unlock, So it really isn't much of a grind. With that, enjoy the rest of the gameplay.